Hey, ninth graders. All right, I want to go over a problem in here. There's only 6 of them, absolute value inequalities number 2. Problem number 1 I'm actually not going to go over because it's a very easy one to set up. You'll notice that there's nothing else outside the absolute value, but on a problem like, like number 4, there is this dividing by 6 outside the absolute value on the left side. So I want to remind you how we have to deal with something like that. So let me, not him. Okay, we have the absolute value of 4. Doesn't look like an absolute value. Oh boy, this is really embarrassing. Okay, absolute value of 4 minus 3b, absolute value, divided by 6 is greater than 2. And I want to get the absolute value stuff all by itself before I can get the first inequality and the second inequality. So I'm going to undo dividing by 6, where I will multiply by 6 on both sides of the inequality. 6 times 6 they undo one another, they just become 1, and I just have the absolute value left on the left side. So on my left side here, I have absolute value of 4 minus 3b, and then it is still greater than, but 2 times 6 is 12. Okay, so this is actually where I'm going to separate my 2 inequalities. So my first inequality, I'm going to circle this stuff. I need to take all of this stuff that's inside this isolated absolute value, and I'm going to write my first inequality, and over here I will write my second inequality. And this should all be on your paper as well, so if you don't have a paper out, please have that out and start writing this stuff down. 4 minus 3b, and then I just copy it, the greater than symbol, and 12. And remember, when it's a greater than, that is going to be an or statement. We said that on page 41 and 42 of your notes. If you forgot, open it up just so you can clarify the difference between the two of you as you do this homework. Then we have 4 minus 3b. We copy this stuff down the same, but instead of greater than 12, the second inequality is going to be less than negative 12. Now I can solve both of these inequalities for b. So I can subtract 4. 12 minus 4 is 8. So I have negative 3b is greater than 8. And then I can divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, and I get b, but remember when you divide by negative, that greater than symbol becomes a less than, and this is 8 thirds. So b is less than negative 8 thirds. Okay, on this other inequality, I'll subtract 4. That is negative 3b is still less than negative 12 minus 4 is negative 16. Okay, then I can divide both sides by negative 3. Negative 16 divided by negative 3 is actually going to be positive 16 thirds. This becomes greater than because I divided by a negative, and I have 16 thirds, my final answer there. All right, so now when I go to type these in, I even gave you a little bit of a reminder when you are, oh, I forgot one thing. I gotta write the word or in the middle. That's weird. Okay, so I come over here. My first inequality was this thing right here. 4 minus 3b is greater than 12. Second inequality, or it was separated by the word or. My second inequality is 4 minus 3b is less than negative 12. My final solution, b, is less than, and then I'm going to type my fraction in parentheses, negative 8 thirds, oh boy, space, or space, b is greater than 16 thirds. Okay, that is a lot of work, I know, or at least it feels like a lot of work, but you don't have to graph it or write the intervals, so hopefully it's not as miserable as you are imagining. Do your best on this. Let me know if you have any questions or need any help.